Do-do-do-do-do. All right, without further ado, the Damo, D, and the Boys podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we're jumping right to it. We were just in a Mike brought up a discussion, a part of a chat where he was it posted I don't know, this dude said something crazy. And basically he was saying like these comparisons of different AEW wrestlers compared to like I guess you could say the legends of earlier years. And then with that, he also said something about AEW will never overdraw the corner. Anywho, ignore my daughter. But anyway, how AEW
That's a
will,
bedtime.
bro, like she didn't say nothing to me for the last several hours. I started streaming. It's like it's like the magnets, like moths. Oh, daddy's streaming, I'm coming. But anyway, ignoring them. But and then Mike brought up the idea of doing a list of um like different AEW wrestlers in comparison to legends from our point of view, from our opinions and things like that. So what was the first one? I'm trying to remember. I gotta bring it up right here. Um well I mean we can add to this, but you know, and keep in mind because when I was thinking about it, I was like, I have to, we have to think about this as AEW wrestlers compared, instead of like overall. Because usually, like when I think about this, I think of like an overall list of like modern day wrestlers. Like, and then I start thinking of WWE, and it's like, okay, well, WWE is not in this list; it's just AEW. So it's kind of flexing off that. So it does make it a little weird. But let's see, the first one was MJF. Uh, so what's everybody's opinion on MJF? Who would he? What would be his? Hey, what's up, sweets? What would be his? What do you want to say? The reincarnation. Who would be? He'd be the reincarnation of. This guy said The Rock. Obviously wrong. But
That's like total disagreement.
yeah, I don't know where he got that from. I mean, you Key Rock.
MJ, yeah, because comparing MJF to The Rock is no. MJF is. I don't know. Like I don't know who. I don't know.
I had said some other names at first, but I think I'm finalizing and saying Ted DiBiase. I mean, the gimmick is similar to it, the whole money heel kind of guy. But like I said, that's just kind of like my thought on it because I originally said Flair, and I was like, nah.
First of all, let's just get this open. I'm gonna get this open for the majority of the podcast. No one, and I repeat, no one in AEW can compare it to Ric Flair.
I will say one, and I'm gonna tell you, I can explain it. And we'll get there. We'll get to the name. I'll explain it, and I'll explain why. And it's a valid opinion. Because, like you said, you got to think of this on a AEW level, not of all time,
MJF, I can see more Rick Martel and early HBK.
I wouldn't say early HBK because, when I think of early HBK, I'm thinking of rockers.
Okay,
I understand what Mike is saying.
Mike, right, he's saying like singles HBK.
I'm thinking like right after he turned heel.
Yeah.
Without Sherry Martel.
Right.
Yeah. I could see MJF as like maybe the modern day model Rick Martel in a way.
Yeah, I can see some Rick in there for sure. For sure, some Rick Martel, yeah. Just how it's kind of like that, the asshole attitude, you know, it's kind of in there. Just like, you know. But that's why I
Yeah.
was thinking myself, like I said, I mixed kind of that with the, like I said, the whole come from money gimmick. That's what I was thinking with the Ted DiBiase. That's where my brain went with that.
It's a little bit of both. Like I could say Rick Martel, Ted DiBiase.
Right.
Now I say more DiBiase because MJF is really, really good on the mic.
Yeah, he's one of those. Where I mean, no shade to his wrestling ability. You know, I mean, he's an amazing wrestler, but yeah, he's more of a performer. Yeah, when it comes to like his vocal skills and stuff, that's what's going to sell him more than anything.
Yeah.
And his antics, and you know, plus he's like still living kayfabe. He's on like Twitter, like talking bad about kids and stuff. You don't care. So, I guess moving on. This one was kind of difficult for me. Was John Moxley, aka WWE's Dean Ambrose, and this guy said he should have been Austin, which I kind of see that. It's not far off. But I'm still gonna say Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts, just the way Jake handled himself, made me think of Dean Ambrose. That's the closest I can think to it.
Mike, I'll leave this one to you.
Cactus Jack.
I can see Cactus Jack, and I was thinking that too, but you know, like Mick Foley was more of a hardcore wrestler, you know. And I don't see John Moxley doing a lot of real hardcore stuff. Not a lot, you know. Of course, he has
early.
Yeah, in the early days, yeah, but not now. I mean, that's why I said I had to think of it on a fine line of AEW. You know, I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. You know, they had that feud back in the day where he was talking all kind of crap about he was going to be the next Cactus Jack. Like that was pre NXT. No, that was right during NXT when he first got there. Yeah, he was saying all that. But of course, you know, his matches back in what was it?
FCW.
In FCW, he was like, you know, yeah, that was that whole thing. Yeah, that's fine. You know, that was his thing. Was yeah. But these days, he's not doing a lot. He's smart. He's getting up in age. You know, I don't think that's really what he's aiming for now. So I said, yeah, when you think of it on a far-standing career, yeah, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be that guy. And yeah, I throw a little bit of Terry. You know, Terry Funk to me, him and Cactus Jack go hand in hand on that. You know, they were the oldie, brutal. You know, they didn't care.
The old age outlaws.
Yeah, exactly. They were It was like bar fights. Yeah, it was like bar fights more than wrestling.
So I could somewhat see Moxley as maybe a younger version of Terry Funk.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely not an old hell. Yeah, Terry Funk, he's not killing himself.
I could compare him to the younger version of Terry Funk, and maybe some semblance of Cactus Jack, maybe give or take.
Right. Right. So, what's your take on the dude saying Austin? Because, like I said, I can see it a little bit, only because of the way Austin's character handled himself a little bit. You know, a little kind of renegade-ish, not WCW's Renegade, but like that that type of shout out to Renegade, rest in peace. But
he's just
that kind of outlaw, yeah. So what, Mike?
Moxley runs against the system, so that's what he's considering. The way Austin fought
right.
McMahon.
Right. So that's what I say. It's not far off. So I give him that.
But Austin,
so yeah, I wouldn't have bet him.
Mike's skill, Moxley does not.
Right. And this one, oh man, this was funny. Now, like I said, I'm going to bring up my point in a minute. This dude said Chris Jericho is equivalent to Hulk Hogan. How dare he do my boy like that? How dare he? How dare?
First of all, this is a hot take. Jericho ain't racist.
Well, I mean, that's my boy. They tried to throw him under the bus. I mean, under the bus when he was talking about being a Republican and all that. But yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with dropping N-words.
Yeah. Number two, Jericho will always be respected in the wrestling realm. But compare him to be the equivalent to Hogan? No.
Nah.
Jericho is himself. He will forever be himself.
You got to remember though, we're dropping in equivalents. I was thinking that too. I was like, Jericho will be Jericho. Now here's my hot take. He's Flair. Now listen to me. Yes. Now listen.
I will leave the live stream.
You will leave. No, listen. Who is the most decorated wrestler in AEW? This is on the AEW level. Who is the most decorated wrestler? Who?
Oh, okay. But no.
These are equivalents. The most decorated wrestler in AEW is Jericho.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah.
I see where you're going, but no.
These are equivalents to AEW. Remember, I said even at the beginning of the podcast, I said we're not saying of all time. We have to compare this to an AEW standpoint. You have to make those comparisons. That's why I specifically said that in the beginning.
I see what you're saying, but
that's why I even said that. I said we're not saying he's Flair. We're not saying he's on Flair level.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But the equivalent to the most decorated wrestler, the way his character is playing it as the heel, the biggest heel in AEW. Flair did that for a long time in WCW. I mean, you have to put those comparisons. It's like, you had to put A and Z, A and B, whatever, but it has to be A and another letter. So that's why I say that. You're just wanting to say, oh, he's not on Flair's level. No, he's not on Flair's level, but he is the most decorated wrestler in AEW. So he would be the highest, wrestler over there, like for a star power. I mean, that's honestly, isn't that the whole purpose of him being over there? He's the reason for AEW. We can argue this all day. I can keep going.
And the way I'm sitting right now, that's how I'm gonna sit throughout the whole argument.
Well, that's just how it is. I mean, you can negate it however you want. But like I said, when you put this to a equivalent to an AEW standpoint, who else would he be? All the titles, all the, when you like you said, when you go back to kind of a, think about a career. He's got, he's the most decorated wrestler. He is honestly, that's his whole point for being there, is being the star power to really draw in people. Of course you got the Bucks and you got all the elite, but Jericho's like, look, I'm coming over here. I'm bringing everything I have to the table to help build this up. Now, didn't Flair do that for WCW? Yes or no?
He did it for the NWA.
Caught you. That's no, we're gonna keep. No, I got you. But we're gonna keep it pushing. Let's see. He said, see, this is one I couldn't figure. I didn't really think about much. Orange Cassidy. He said Orange Cassidy was Triple H, and that's the one you should be arguing about. That's the one. Orange Cassidy and Triple H. I don't know where he got that from.
Orange Cassidy as Triple H.
Oh, don't you dare try to equal that. If you equal that, I will leave the podcast.
First of all, No, I don't even see
about
that
to say,
comparison.
I don't know no kind of comparison to that. None. Like, where you can't name not one why him and Triple H would be equivalent. I mean, at any point of Triple H's career, at any point of Orange Cassidy, nobody even knew who Orange Cassidy really was till he was in AEW. It was only some people was like, oh, that's that one guy who puts his hands in his pocket. You know, he was the guy nobody really knew.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he was with the Triple H thing. That was just like, I don't know.
But see, the thing is with that comparison, Triple H really didn't become a household name until he became part of DX.
Well, I mean, he was known for when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It wasn't like nothing special, nah. But I mean, Orange Cassidy, on what kind of level, you know?
I don't even know who would be the. I don't know who Orange Cassidy's equivalent would be. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing that was. Well, I was about to throw him under the bus for real. I was almost gonna say Doink the Clown, and I know that's wrong. Only because he's a gimmick wrestler, and I was like, nah, I wouldn't do him like that because I was trying to. I mean,
the Flock.
Say who?
I think he froze up.
Yeah, it cut him out a little bit.
But who'd you say, Mike?
There's somebody in the Flock.
Kidman the Flock.
Kidman. I can kind of see it.
I can see it.
Especially when he was doing the whole, what was the you know, yeah, being kind of like the guy who kind of rose out of it and became like a bigger star. I can see some hints there. But like the more I think about Orange Cassidy, I'm just like, my mind for some reason always goes to somebody with a gimmick. I mean, not saying that he can't wrestle, because he can obviously wrestle, but that's just, you know, his thing is his hands, his pocket, being cool.
Yeah.
But I can't put nobody in that position. You know, it's kind of like you would really have to deep think about who he'd be the closest to.
Yeah, you would really have to dig. I don't know.
Right.
Orange Cassidy, I would just kind of give him a question mark.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was just like, eh. All right, so since we can't figure him out, who else did they have? This is one I'm even questionable on, which I kind of agreed a little bit with him. He said Kenny Omega was a mix between Brett and Flair. I can see the Brett, so I put Brett. But even at the same time, that's a lean.
This is probably the guy who said that Kenny Omega was the modern day Ric Flair.
Now see, that was I can't even go with that, because don't get me wrong, Kenny's decorated, but he doesn't have nowhere near as long as a career like that. But as far as the star power for this era is getting close. But that's why I said more Brett, because, you know, when Brett was the champion, man, he was soaring. You know, he was the face of the company at one time as well. So that's where I kind of
talking like Bret Hart, like first world title reign. Yeah,
that's how I'm figuring it. Yeah, when he first got the world title, but
I can see that comparison, but that Kenny to Flair comparison, no. I mean, I'm still on the fence with the Jericho the Flair comparison, but
AEW. That's why I said that there. I purposely said that. Now, yeah. If you was just to say of all time, no. No.
I would say Kenny is a young Bret Hart.
Yeah, because I mean, even when I sit here and think about it, Kenny the Cleaner, Bret the Hitman,
like Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart.
Right.
That's what I'll say with Kenny.
Right. And yeah, I mean, because I think didn't they say that? I think they said that on like a couple docs that even when Bret start doing more single stuff, he was kind of like coming more out of he was kind of basically pulling away from the Heart Foundation. Yeah. So I can kind of see those kind of being very similar in how he's maneuvering. Like I said,
I'll take the young Bret Hart comparison.
Right.
As far as I go with Kenny.
Right. Now, of course, Bret, his career got shaky after a while, but especially when it comes to the Montreal screw job and all that, it really got. So we'll put him in that place. Next, this one I kind of had a hard time too. I thought this was funny too. He said Hangman Page was the equivalent of Cena and Shawn Michaels. I don't know where he was getting this from. I can kind of see the Shawn, kind of.
Hangman is more Austin than Moxley.
Well, see, I was thinking kind of Austin too, based on some of the kind of his character, but of course, the star power ain't there. I figured it would have been because they wanted him to be a champion when they first started, but it never really happened. I'm trying to remember what I said. I said Benoit. And the reason I said Benoit, back when Benoit was the kind of the later run of WCW, because that's when Benoit was kind of like that guy his star power was kind of getting away from everybody else. That's when they were really realizing what he could do. I was thinking of it more technically, because of course, Adam Page has, he has a lot more. I think he has a lot he could do for AEW. He's just not doing it yet, or possibly choosing not to do it. And Benoit was kind of that guy as well. So I think it's just one of the things of maybe the way they're probably thinking about it compared to the way I'm thinking about it. Other than that, character would be very similar to. I don't know, because
character-wise, I will compare him to a young Austin. In ring-wise, I don't want to say Benoit.
Well, he's not as technical as Benoit, no. But as far as I'm just thinking of, like I said, this is only that I can kind of pull from it. Was just the way he's kind of elevating in star power. The elevation, not the star power. It's not there yet. But just the way he's kind of getting away from he was always kind of like the shadow in the elite, But now because Cody was huge, Kenny's huge, the Bucks are huge in the tag team division. He was always a guy that was kind of like the odd man out. So I think now that he's doing his own thing, it's kind of coming out of that. But that was a tough one too. It was
the Benoit is Hangman. I'm gonna put a question. I'd put a question mark there.
Yeah. It's iffy. Like I said, it's a rough one. But definitely I gonna say see the HBK. I have no clue where he pulled that one clean out the Duke shoot. I mean, he went all up in the Duke shoot and pulled that one clean. Oh man. The big rocks or the little rocks?
Big rocks.
big rock.
Look, he smoked that rock that Tyrone Biggs was smoking on when he won Fear Factor, the one that got him high for hours.
Just like this. Come on, smoke this rock.
Yeah.
Oh man, this one, this one was kind of weird too. But I like who I chose. He said Darby Allin would be Undertaker. Now he smoked the biggest rock. He smoked like uh yeah, he smoked a big rock on that one. I don't know.
He smoked all the rocks in the crack house.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know where he flexed with that one. I said
that ain't even a flex. That's just like, really?
You know what? Darby Allin's like the Undertaker.
Shoot,
It's a
he
big draw.
smoking rocks. He's shooting up. He got crystal meth. He got all the drugs.
Oh, he got that blue sky. He got that Walter White on that one.
Yeah,
He got the good stuff.
yeah.
Primo.
Shoot, he ain't got the blue sky. He in the sky.
He in the moon seeing moon people.
Yes, he is walking on the moon, seeing moon people.
Oh no. I said Raven. That's who I said. I can think of
I can agree with that.
comparison.
I can agree with that without the mic skills.
And yeah. Because
He's Raven without the mic skills because I've
yeah.
I've yet to hear Darby Allin deliver a promo.
Right, I'm about to say I don't think he talks much. Yeah, and Raven, man, especially like a promo. Oh man, he was a killer.
Yeah,
because I remember specifically when I really started liking Raven was what was it? I think it was an ECW when him and Tommy Dreamer had like that little thing where when it like he was talking about he was going to take like Tommy Dreamer's family and all that stuff like that. Man, he was just like giving it up.
I became a fan of Raven during his feud with the Sandman.
Oh yeah,
because all those promos were boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
he was man.
boom,
He was giving it up.
He was killing it,
man. And but let's see, and I think that's what it is. Specifically, I think of Raven. I don't know if I want to say ECW or WCW. Probably more ECW. Yeah, it had to be ECW. Because WCW was more when he started really, when they had the Flock was really, a thing, and it was like he was pulling more into leadership.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't mean to make no comparison. This isn't really a comparison as far as like wrestlers, but I'm just saying like far as the promo work, he made me think a lot of how CM Punk, did, far as like the whole cryptic kind of stuff, early CM Punk, like straight edge society kind of CM Punk, that kind of like cult leader type stuff. Who else was on the list? This dude said, and this isn't a far one, but it's hard to take this one. I'm going to say it's not only because, well, I'll say who it is first. It's Ray Phoenix. He says it's Mysterio. But that's kind of one of them things, like I was saying about Jericho and Flair, is like Ray Phoenix isn't as a decorated real wrestler as Ray. Early Ray, it was real fresh. So maybe like an early Ray?
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I can see an early version of Rey Mysterio.
Right.
As I'm sitting here looking at the actual figures of Ray Phoenix and Rey Mysterio, I can see it.
Right.
But as far as like in ring,
mm-hmm.
I would say I could say like a young Rey Mysterio.
Right.
Rey Mysterio Jr., not Rey Mysterio.
Exactly. Yeah. When he was Rey Mysterio Jr. with the question marks everywhere.
Yeah.
Actually had tights on, not baggy pants. I threw him and what's it called up now? Penta L Zero. There it is. Pentagon Jr. That's what I'm gonna call him. I can't. It's Penta L Zero or something now.
Penta L Zero M. But
I threw them together and said Juventud Guerrero and Psychosis. That's what they make me think of. I don't know why. it might be a
I
slight.
could see Rey Fenix as an early version of Rey Mysterio, and I could see Pentagon Jr. as maybe Psychosis. I can see him as Psychosis.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because when you think about very much early Ray. Well, I think I just threw him in because the tag team. I just threw it like that. But single wise, it had to be early Ray. Yeah, Ray Jr. Who else?
That's a fair comparison. That's fair.
He said the Young Bucks are the Hardy Boys, and I've heard this up and down, but
there are a lot of similarities. I think you said the Rockers.
Yeah, that's the given because everybody wants to say they're the new version of the Rockers, but
if you're gonna say that, okay, it's like which one's Sean and which one's Marty?
Yeah, that's well at the time.
I mean, let's
Marty Jannetty was okay, so
that's like the only one that kind of equals itself out is them as like they're more of the Hardys, but with a little bit better moveset.
Well, the only no, because that'd even be it. Even what I said in that case, what I was about to bring up would make mine even real bad comparison. But yeah, honestly, because the brothers, I that's one point.
I mean, they've wrestled the Hardys, so I mean,
right.
I would say I could see them as the Hardys.
The only thing is, of course, because this is the only thing that's keeping me away from that, because the Bucks, they have themselves have a very similar wrestling style to where Jeff and Matt didn't. That's the only thing that's pulling me away from that. The only thing. Jeff was more of the high flyer, risk taker, and all that, to where Matt was, Matt skills, a little bit of technical, a little bit of actual wrestling.
Matt was more of the ring general, and Jeff was more of the flyer. Whereas with the Bucks, both of them are flyers, but
and see that's the hard part because they actually like almost everything with them is like straight up tag team work, like straight up, like they focus on that to where Matt and Jeff. They had a lot like that. Like their differences would make for a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
it's
still. I would still say it is the closest comparison.
Yeah, that's probably the closest comparison that on that list. So.
Right. So now we're gonna throw in some wild cards because there's a bunch of people he didn't list. And there's some people I want to add, and it's going to be probably some hot takes because I can't really think of some obvious comparisons off the top of my head. But some people he didn't have on there was like, we'll throw a woman in there because there ain't any female wrestlers yet. We'll start kind of at the top. Britt Baker. And yeah, it's rather than that brain, ain't it? When you think about it. Man, I almost this would be a terrible, but no, I can't say it. I was gonna say Trish Stratus, but only because the way Trish wrestled. Trish really liked to work the crowd, and Britt likes to do that as well. Now, as far as no shade to Trish, because Trish was a good wrestler, but I think Britt Baker is a little bit more into it.
Trish became
More skilled.
a better wrestler as time went on.
Right. That's when they started really training them, and it wasn't just for show.
It wasn't like with Trish in Lita, it wasn't necessarily all like bra and panties matches and this, that, and the other. They could actually wrestle.
That's when they really started to progress and started like, nobody gives
Lita,
love to that
Lita already came in with like that lucha background anyway. So Lita was already established. And she was Miss Congeniality in ECW.
Right.
So
yeah, it wasn't like the others that they kind of brought in and they were just straight up valets and stage valets and occasional come in, slap a wrestler, get out, get into a odd, dramatic storyline. Yeah, they were actually at their wrestling. But yeah, that is a rough one, man.
Britt Baker ?
Yeah, because it's kind of like there's a like it. I guess it's hard for the women because there weren't really that many back then. The kind of course now they have a lot more today and they're getting more involved in that. So that's a hard bridge to cross. Okay, we'll step back over. We'll say I don't know why he didn't put Cody on the list. We'll say Cody. Everybody out there just want to say Triple H, but I'm not. Oh, he's Triple H now. He's Triple H. Nope. Not doing it.
I'm not gonna say Triple H either.
What's up, Sleeping Collectibles? He came in. He said,
what's up, Sleeping? Yeah, he don't say Triple H. Nah. I don't know.
Man,
I really don't know. Cody, I just put a question mark on him.
Yeah, because I think I almost know. I was seriously about to say early Steam, but I was like, nope, I ain't gonna say that either. Because that was like a whole different vibe. Like
I'm just gonna leave a question mark on Cody.
Right. We'll leave a question mark on that one. Who else? I'm gonna throw you some curveballs. What about Pac?
Pac is super athletic.
Yeah, honestly, if he really wanted to get down, he could probably be like maybe one of the I'm gonna say top 3 athletic wrestlers in AEW. If he really wanted to get down, like he used to.
What you mean like he used to? He still do. He doesn't
Well, I'm talking about like pre WWE. But I think it's just now he's older, he's not going to risk that, Not saying that he can't.
Right.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah, that's another kind of rough one.
That's the thing. You once you get past with AEW, once you get past the main names, that's it.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of talent there, but once you get past the main names, as far as like on that list, on that post, that's really it.
Right. Well, that's why I had to throw Cody in there because Cody wasn't there. I was like, okay, yeah, he definitely, if he's one of the higher ups. So
the outside of that list, the only other comparison that I can think of that's a fair comparison was FTR as Tully and Arn, the Brainbusters. That makes perfect sense.
Right. Well, they even said that back when they first started in NXT.
Yeah, they are the modern day Tully and Arn.
Right. I think that was like in the formula, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a given.
That's the only comparison to me that makes sense.
Right. Let's see. Right. Even Sleeping
Yeah,
Collective
you're
said
right.
that was all part of the plan.
Yeah, sleeping was right. Sleeping, you are absolutely right.
Right. Let's see. I know there's some others I can. I'm trying to specifically think now, like who would be, even as a hot take, who would be what, like on the fly.
See, that's just it. You
can't. I literally, for some odd weird reason, I don't even know why. I was gonna say, what about Scorpio Sky?
Too Cold Scorpio.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna say it. That's what I was thinking.
And when I say Too Cold Scorpio, I'm talking about like WCW, like early years. Too Cold Scorpio, not Flash Punk.
Yeah, Flash Punk. No, not him. We talking about Too Cold, Scorpio. Oh man, yeah. So I was thinking that too, but I was like, would that be fair? I guess because he's kind of like, I'm gonna be honest. Well, he's not tokenized, but he was kind of like the first signed, black guy for AEW, until who was a private party and them came along.
Now I will admit, the Scorpio Sky, the comparison to Too Cold Scorpio, I would say early years Too Cold Scorpio, because Scorpio Sky is super duper athletic.
Yeah, he's a talented dude.
Yeah,
especially for like he's kind of a little bit bigger in size and can move.
Yeah,
you don't see that a whole lot.
Because with me, the first time I watched Too Cold Scorpio wrestle, like he was one of the first guys I ever seen that did 450.
Right.
So
I guess continuing on with them, what about, I don't know, this is just oddball throwing out just because they're right there. What about Kazarian and Christopher Daniels? I got nothing. I'm going to tell you, I got nothing.
Kazarian, I would say, is,
and even with them at their age, they can still really move too. They can still really go. Like
Christopher Daniels, I didn't know about Christopher Daniels literally until I started watching TNA. And by that time, he'd already been in the business like 12 years.
Right. Yeah, he's one of them guys, that was already like pulling through. Yeah, that's when I know about him.
And Kazarian, man, like, both of those are question marks.
Right. Yeah, I almost want to say Hall and Nash, but that's not fair.
That's what I say. Outside of that list, with the exception of FTR, you really can't compare them to nobody else.
Right. True that. So should we flip it up a little bit and throw some WWE people in there?
No. Did you say you set the bar at AEW?
I was just thinking, just within that short frame. I was just thinking maybe just to flip it. Or, no, because if we were doing a podcast about overall, then we just need to do that by itself.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a whole thing. I'd need like prep time. Let me throw about two more in there. Let me see. See if I can get some that might work, might not. I'm gonna say we're gonna start with some of these younger cats. Let's start with Jungle Boy. You think there's any kind of comparison with Jungle Boy? I think something's there.
Yeah, Jungle Boy. Dang, who would I compare Jungle Boy to?
Weirdly enough, I kind of want to say 1, 2, 3 Kid.
And actually, I agree with that.
Yeah, just being that kind of young, fresh guy, that's
Young,
in there.
fresh guy, super underdog.
Pause. Just kind of building up.
I can see Jungle Boy as like the 1, 2, 3 Kid, kind of picking up those big victories against like main event talent type. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I agree on that one.
Yeah, because that would really work. Because he's like this. Yeah, he's like exactly what you say. He's like the smallest guy, getting like a lot of like mainstream attention.
Mm-hmm.
He's going up against a lot of people with higher star power and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that. Right. Here, let's get one more in there. I was gonna say Luchasaurus, but that'd be a hard one too. I can just tell off my top of my brain that'd be a hard one. Let's see.
I mean, the obvious one is Brian Pillman Jr. as his daddy.
Right. Okay, let's throw in one tag team, like solid tag team. We would say the Best Friends. Like when they first came in, when it was Chuck Taylor and what's his face? Trent.
Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Best Friends. I would say maybe Edge and Christian.
Damn it! I think you might have hit it because I think they remind me of like Edge and Christian, not early Edge and Christian, like when they were doing what was it called? When they were doing the poses.
Yeah, the 5-second pose.
The 5-second pose.
Edge and Christian makes perfect sense for them.
Right, that kind of comedic, that comedy run kind of. Yeah.
They can wrestle, but then they can also be like
right
this super comedic. Yeah, Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian was probably the perfect example.
Yeah, because during that time, there was Edge and Christian was doing single stuff. They were doing tag stuff, and they had that. They played off each other a lot. Yeah, as far as like the comic relief, they use them a lot for that. Yeah, so I think they would fit that mold.
Yeah, I Edge and Christian.
Right. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, so I guess. How long we been going then? But that's more likely that's gonna be it. Yeah. Is there anything you wanna shout out to anybody? Like I said, this is YouTube land now, it's not Twitch land.
Yeah. So first of all, I gotta give a huge shout out to the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. They just dropped the 50th episode of their podcast. Right. I was a part of that. And
I just listened to that before. Like when we were talking earlier, I was actually listening to that.
Yeah, and I had so much fun doing that podcast. Like, I love chopping it up with those guys because they are very knowledgeable in the wrestling realm because they're kind of like us. They watch everything. They try to watch everything, and they hooked me up. Hooked me onto some stuff. So I gotta give a huge shout out to them. Shout out to Fret's Frequency. Shout out to Reckless Figs. Shout out to Sleeping Collectibles, who was a part of the live stream. Just a huge shout out to.
Thank you for showing up, Sleep.
Yeah, shout out to Sweeps, man. Just shout out to everybody, man. I had just shout out to everybody.
Right. Well, I'm like I said, one thing I think we talked about it on the last pod. We plan to get together and actually do a big kind of wrestling pod with like us and a lot of other people. Yeah, try to get Fets in there. Try to get my buddy Nate, and if anybody else you really want to be in it, we'll try to fit you in there. If not, we'll fit you, or maybe if we do a part 2. When we'll do it, not exactly sure, but we got things we've been planning to get to because originally I had planned another idea for the pod for episode 7, but we'll get to that later. Like I said, this came up. Michael was like, "Hey, sounds like a pod. We'll do it." So we all had time. Bing, bang, boom. I just want to shout out to all our viewers, your viewers. If you have to come across this podcast and you're not following Dee the Toy Hunter, go to Dee the Toy Hunter's page. My tongue is all shook up today. You have to excuse it. I'll put the link down in the description to your channel, fam.
Yes, appreciate it.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna say thank you, love you, God bless good gaming. We have Dee the Toy Hunter has t-shirts. I have t-shirts. We have Budget Club t-shirts. Buy them.
Yeah.
Buy them.
With October on the way, because we'll have to talk about it. I'm rattling around the idea for October doing a pink breast cancer awareness shirt. So,
right. And when is I know we talked about doing an autism awareness shirt. When is that? November?
I have to look and see. We'll have to look and see. But
yeah, excuse me if I'm wrong.
I definitely want to do an idea for autism awareness, breast cancer awareness.
Right.
So
that's what's up. Like I said, God bless. Good collecting, gaming, listening to podcasts, watching movies, specifically on HBO Max, Netflix. No, I'm just playing. But nah, man. But yeah. As always, we love y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, and I want to say this. I know the world's crazy right now, but try to find happiness in a crazy world.
Absolutely, because it is, yeah. Crazy is an understatement. It's out there.
Yeah,
right. So on that note, I'm gonna end it, and we'll see y'all on the next one.